Phenomenal chapter, 10 out of 10. I love it. I love the path that Deku is on. This man, he's Batman after he's taken 3 lines of Infinity Stone cocaine. That's how he looks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Anime Ramble. Today I got for you My Hero Academia chapter 318. What is going on? Well, the Dark Knight Midoriya is on a rampage. We still got Stain lurking in the background. We don't know if he is one of the hired guns for All For One. If he is, and packed out with even more quirks, he is by far the most dangerous villain that we got outside of, the obvious. Inaction is not an option for Midoriya at this point, okay? He's already kicked it into overdrive, and even after taking on Lady Nagant, he's already ran into 2 more hired guns that we know of, one of which he took care of swiftly back in chapter 317, and in the manner of which he did take care of this hired gun off screen, it left All Might speechless and really questioning everything that he has done. For Midoriya, to Midoriya, all the pressure that's been put on him personally and from the other users, it's beginning to really show in Midoriya's character throughout all of this chapter. And the second appearing in this chapter at the end by the name Dictator, we're going to get into that later, but I mean, he says it the best. He calls out Midoriya and he says what he's doing is a reckless rampage born of anxiety and impatience. It is definitely reckless, and even the past users think that him pushing himself this extreme, even while being injured, is not doing him any benefits. He can't wear himself out right now before the main fight even starts while going on this crusade that he has. And at the beginning of the chapter even, if you're new to the channel, I don't really go in order, I just go in what flows and what interests me the most from the chapter. But at the beginning of the chapter, you have Endeavor calling Deku and saying, hey, we have a new plan of attack, the foreign hero's start date has been decided, you need to come back. Deku is well beyond the boundaries of the Pride Land at this point, okay? To call him back now, after him gaining all of this experience and finally being able to put pieces together from One For All, to take him out now, in his mind, you're working backwards. He can't give the villains time to prepare and time to set up, because if they have time to prepare and set up, lives are going to be lost in the masses. And again, it's something that he can't allow happen, that has been pressed on him since he has gained the connection to all the previous users. All of their personal conflict and strife with All For One and everything, all their emotion has been poured onto him, this 12-year-old child, and he is now the key piece, the linchpin for everything to work. So Endeavor is coming from a point of, we can't have our linchpin out there to potentially die or get captured. And he's thinking of it as in perspective of terms of, only I can do this, because that's what's been said to him throughout his entirety of holding this quirk. It's all on him. None of this matters to Midoriya because he's still on the move. He knows that his power that he has currently rivals that of All Might at 100%. With this, and he's not stupid, with this in his mind, he knows that this is his best option. And along the way, he's rescuing civilians who are just being caught up in all of this. Yeah, they thank him and answer his questions, but they run off scared. And it's not like they're just running off scared because they're scared of the villains. They're running off scared because they're scared of Deku. His entire perception is that he's one of the people that is working for All For One. And of course, he clarifies that they believe him for the most part, but they still run off scared. Because of course they did. You're described as being soaked in blood, and I mean, for the most part you are. Not all of it's yours. Everything that we have known throughout the series and what we have been shown, the weight of responsibility that was placed on him is getting to his head. That's only compounded on top of the fact that he has his own personal reasons for wanting to continue with the path that he's chosen. He has all of his friends that he's thinking about. He has his mother that he's thinking about. He has All Might and his professors that he's all thinking about, even the heroes and just civilians in general. He's always had that will to want to rescue. All Might has been a huge influence on him from the time he was a child. Some would say a little bit too much, and you have your hero coming to you saying, you're next, this is all on you. All the previous users saying the exact same thing. He's cracking. He hasn't broken, but he's cracking, and you can start to see it, especially at the very end of the chapter when he is fighting Dictator, one of the hired guns. He's already fought the fodder villains. He blasted through a dragon kaiju, and now he's gotten this point to where he's at a confirmed hired gun, that being Dictator. We don't know what other quirks he's packed with. We don't actually get to see it other than his main one that he uses to puppeteer, humans, much like what we saw from the Dressrosa arc of One Piece, that with Doflamingo, that ability. He's controlling them, and while this is all happening, this is why I say he hasn't broken yet, he's just cracking. You definitely get to see it here, because he's not just outright attacking these people, he's not even throwing a punch at all. He's trying to come up with a strategy, but while he's coming up with the strategy, the people are attacking him, and they manage to get to him. You would think he would float, you would think he would do something to evade him, but he doesn't. He just stands there and he starts taking all of their punches. Then, Best Boy Bakugo, out of left field like a radiant angel, comes, hits the dictator with an armor-piercing shot, drops him. And that's the way to get around his quirk. Every quirk has a way to get around it. Deku had two options, both of which he knew. Either he can somehow render the people he's controlling unconscious, or he can render the quirk user unconscious. Why he didn't think to, like, hold him down or stick him to the ground with his black whip ability, I don't know. But those were his two options that he had for himself. None of which seemed to work because he didn't make a move. Bakugo had to come in there and really save him. But that is the end of the chapter. I am very curious to see how this is going to play out in the future. What the plan of attack is going to be between Bakugo and Deku moving forward. Is Deku even going to want Bakugo there? Because that was the whole reason for him leaving them behind. He didn't want them to be at risk and to fight. If Bakugo is there, then you probably can speculate that Todoroki is also going to be there. I don't know who else would be along for this ride, but it is turning up quite intensely. And last, I want to leave it off on this. I understand that Endeavor is trying to follow the rule book and wait for the foreign heroes to get there and stuff like that, but you're leaving your linchpin, this child, out there. You know he's injured. You might not be able to catch him, but you could at least try to catch him, especially if his role is as important as you say it is. You need to get Midoriya back, or catch up to him. Fuck getting him back, because he's not coming back and you can't stop him. Just catch up to him, offer him that support, be there alongside him. If Bakugo did not show up, Deku would have had to start rolling heads. I mean, again, I did throw out the whole black whip ability idea. The fact that he knew he had to have time in order to come up with the strategy, and he didn't do anything to actively help him come up with the strategy. Like, alright, you don't have to fight him, but you could always float above him, right? You don't have to fight him, but you could hold him down with Black Whip. There are other avenues he could have taken, and this is all just summing up to what I said earlier about him starting to really crack and that pressure starting to get to him. Phenomenal chapter, 10 out of 10. I love it. I love the path that Deku is on. This man, he's Batman after he's taken 3 lines of Infinity Stone cocaine. That's how he looks like. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button. It lets me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment on the video your thoughts about what you think is going on, and how do you like Midoriya's progression so far. I fucking love it. He's a badass. He's doing his thing. Subscribe if you're brand new, and like always, until next time, I'm out.
Located. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint contested. Testing hardpoint. Hostile spy plane is established overhead. Contesting hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Every wind pushes back the Iron Curtain. Textbook.